Alright, guys, I'm gonna give it a few minutes and see if anybody comes in. Hey, ghetto. Can you hear me now? I was just doing last minute research. So I got my new pride and joy today. I got my Black American flag. It's going pretty good. I've actually had a good Monday. It's been kind of quiet. How's yours been? I might actually try to do that as a green screen. I don't know yet. I like the meaning behind the Black American flag. There's actually a history behind it that, kind of fits today's times. You're welcome. Um, let's see. I know, we've all seen the thin blue line, American flags, which stands for Police Lives Matter. And, the BLM movement has their own version of the flag. And then you have the traditional red, white, and blue, as well as several, variants of the red, white, and blue. But the Black American flag was gave a unique meaning since its initial appearance in the 18th century. The majority of Black American flags are purely black with no additional distinctive features. The Black American flag could also be black with a tint of white stripes, which, as you see, mine's completely black, but you do have the stars and you can see the stripes. Not in, well, you can see the stars and you see the indications of the stripes. What does a Black American flag mean? Historically, Black American flags means no quarter will be granted. This phrase is interpreted as an immediate death sentence in modern terms. This indicates that terrorist suspects will be killed rather than be held as prisoners. During the American Civil War in 1861, some Confederate Army troops displayed the black flag in opposition to the white flag, which symbols surrender. So the black flag means, never surrender. It's also in some areas is considered as unity. It's to unify behind a certain, behind, how people feel, like-minded people. I had never, I'd seen, the black flags, but I'd never heard, the meaning behind it. And I was on TikTok, and on TikTok, within patriot groups, which I'm a part of quite a few of them on there, but they fly a lot of black flags. It really is ghetto, and I'll never surrender. I'll never comply with, what they're trying to push on us. But that's just how I was, raised. But I do have some info that I'm sure most will find interesting. I had watched a video last night, and I want to say it was on YouTube. I can't remember whose channel it was, but they were talking about Ashley Biden, Potato Head's daughter. Project Veritas, which is like a right-wing publishing group, journalist, whatever you want to call them, had got a hold of Ashley's private diary. And of course, the New York Times, was blowing it all out of proportion and whatnot. And I had actually never heard of the group until I, was reading up on it. And the FBI has actually went in these people's homes trying to find the stolen diary. But the group claims that, that it was gained completely legally. So I was looking it up and looked into it, and it's not pretty. Let me read you a couple of quotes from the actual diary, and you can look it up online. Just type in Biden's daughter's diary. It's actually how I found it. Let's see if I can enlarge it some. She was hypersexualized at a young age, and this comes directly from the diary. At a young age, she was having showers with her dad. And in parentheses, it says probably not appropriate. Being turned on when I wasn't supposed to be. I remember the Q-tips. I hated getting my ears cleaned. Beating my vagina, I shouldn't have said that, private part, excuse me, due to overhearing parents having sex. And there's all kinds of stuff in this diary that, kind of it makes me want to be sick. It talks about, her having sex with older men and all kinds of stuff to the point where I had to stop reading it. I really did because it was making me so mad. And on, let's see what site this is. The Published Reporter, it talks about this. Yeah, yeah, I'm not going to say too much more. But like I said, y'all can look it up. It's not pretty. On to other news before they, you know, get us here. On Reuters, they talk about the GM abuse case, and there's several high-ranking business people like Jack Dorsey and several more that has stepped down since this trials actually started. And they saying it has nothing to do with the trial. But personally, I find it a little funny, that all of a sudden all these CFOs are stepping down. It kind of makes you wonder, what are they hiding? And then you have Chris Como that gets fired from CNN, who his brother, was allegedly done what was said. And they think that the reporter was in on it. And for some reason, it kicked me off um that site I was looking at. But you look online and it'll tell you, what CFOs had stepped down and whatnot. Um, Now we on to Russia, because I honestly believe we really, really need to watch what's going on with Russia and other world leaders. India says deliveries of Russian S-400 defense system has begun. New Delhi says it has started receiving parts of missile defense system in a deal that prompted threats of U.S. sanctions. The U.S. is good at putting out sanctions against other countries. They want to police the world, in my opinion. Russia has begun deliveries of its long-range S-400 ground-to-air missile defense system to India, according to New Delhi Foreign Secretary. Supplies have begun this month and will continue to happen. Indian Foreign Secretary Harsh Vardhan Shringla said on Monday after a visit to New Delhi by Russian President Vladimir Putin. It really is. It really is ghetto. To me, I've always said either put up or shut up. That's just the way I am. The supply of S-400 systems is a result of a deal signed between Russia and India in 2018 and could put the latter at risk of sanctions by the United States, which has warned New Delhi government various times over the deal. Last month, Russian media reported that Moscow started delivering the first of the S-400s to India, citing Dmitry Shugayev. I know I butcher these Russian names. Head of the Russian Military Cooperation Agency. who said the first S-400 unit will have arrived in India by the end of this year. The $5.5 billion deal was for 5 long-range surface-to-air missile systems, which India has said it needs to counter a threat from China. India could face a range of financial sanctions from the U.S. under the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, or CAATSA, which names Russia as an adversary alongside North Korea and Iran for its actions against Ukraine, interference in the U.S. 2016 elections, and support to Syria. Excuse me. You know, India's always been kind of on the sidelines. But now all of a sudden, they're striking deals with Russia. So it kind of makes you go, All right, now we're on to Russia and the U.S. Biden and Putin head into Ukraine talks with scant room for compromise. Okay, computer, quit being slow. All right. President Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin have a chasm of mutual distrust to bridge when they hold a virtual meeting on Tuesday in the shadow of what the United States believe is a threatened Russian invasion of Ukraine. Boy, that was a short article. But it's the truth. Russia and the U.S. is basically, they have a long history of hating each other. And Vladimir Putin has went on record as stating that he doesn't believe that Russia and the United States will ever be allies. There's too much mistrust there. And, honestly, I can't blame Russia, but I also can't blame the U.S. for not trusting Russia. And I was watching, I can't remember the name of that guy's channel, but I was watching a guy that was talking about Texas. AJH, take your time, honey. I'm glad you're listening. I agree, Ghetto. It is better, but it still, kind of makes you go. But the guy was talking about he lives in Texas and he came across an article on China looking to gain bases in the Atlantic. And they're hey, ghetto. They're they've got containers, and the article didn't state what kind of containers that has missiles in them. I'm looking for it. Texas News Today. Here it is. As soon as it pulls up, my Wi-Fi slow back here in my bedroom. It's alright, kiddo. We all have butterfingers. U.S. urges equator. I can't say that whole long word. Guinea not to let China build a base for Beijing's warships in the Atlantic Ocean. China is reportedly trying to encourage Guinea to build a military base off their coast. This is a move that gives Beijing a foothold in the Atlantic and is deeply worried about Washington. U.S. intelligence officials want China's President Xi Jinping to persuade West African President. I'm not even going to try that one. You know how them words get. To expand the city's existing port and to convert it to a military base. I believe there is. If China transforms Beta Port into a military base, Beijing will be able to repair and refit warships and other naval equipment in the same waters where the east coast of the United States is located. As part of our diplomacy to address maritime security issues, we have identified certain potential measures for Guinea, which include Chinese activities that will raise national security concerns, the Potato Head administration officials told the Wall Street Journal on Sunday. Authorities have previously upset China's military base in the Atlantic Ocean as a nightmare scenario for the United States and amid tensions between the two countries over Taiwan and the origin of the thing. I think most of us do, kiddo. Excuse me. China has only one overseas military base in East Africa, which opened in 2017 and is on the other side of the African continent and overlooks the Gulf of Aden. Excuse me. That N looked like a T there. In 2009, China upgraded its commercial port in Guinea. It is located in the city of Bata, the largest city on the mainland. Malabo, the capital of the country, is located on an island 1 hour by plane ride from the mainland. National Security Advisor Jonathan Fenner is seen meeting the Vice President and his son, Mang, on October 19th. In October, Potato Head's NSA Fenner was sent to Guinea to talk to the president about the issue. The 79-year-old president, Africa's longest serving leader who ruled in Africa for 42 years, estimated that he had sent his son to see his hair, at the finale. The 53-year-old vice president and international face of the world-running government posted a video on Instagram showing that he met Finale on October 19th and visited him. Then he tweeted a picture of the silver tray that Fenner gave him. A week later, he tweeted a photo of himself meeting a Chinese delegation and thanked them for supporting his country. At the end of this month, he confirmed that a delegation of officials from Guinea would visit Senegal and attend the Forum on China and Africa. The meeting will be watched very carefully by Washington. Can you imagine China having a foothold in the Atlantic Ocean that points directly towards our East Coast. We're always talking about, their hypersonic missiles. If they were to launch even just a regular missile from that close, they could take out, a lot of our stuff. It really would be ghetto. You know, as bad as it is, you know, it's true that we don't have a lot of earthquakes on the East Coast. Here in last few years, yeah, we've had several, but it hasn't been high magnitude quakes. Our biggest fear of earthquakes on this side of the country is the New Madrid, which would, if strong enough, would completely split the country in half. But I want to bring that as attention. I do have another purpose live. I've been watching some. Let me go outside so I can smoke. So y'all bear with me a minute. I need a cigarette. Let me turn my camera off. But I've been watching this guy. As a matter of fact, Von Erich told me about him on your live a week or two ago. Excuse me. But I've been watching, how to grow your YouTube channel, because I've been stuck on 47 subscribers now for about 3 weeks or so. And what he said, made a lot of sense. But I want to start doing, some collaborations with other content creators. Kind of do like shares, I guess you would call it, where, I have a couple of, creators that, give me shout outs and stuff like that, like you, Ghetto, Hutch, Prepper Tribe, just Josh. But I want to be able to, grow not only my channel, but help them as y'all as well. Because, I know y'all have more followers than I do. But I honestly believe in, even though I'm a small channel, they might be people that follow me that don't follow y'all. And I'm more than willing, to share the screen. I'd like to get Miss Virginia up here one day, and us just, discuss things. Ghetto, you more than welcome to come up on a live. JH, anybody else that wants to come up, it don't matter whether you have a channel or not. And I also want to do like, I hear you, Ghetto. I also want, and another thing is the views. My viewer count is like way down. Always Ghetto. And while I'm thinking about it, I was in Five Below last week, and I was looking through their posters, and I actually come across a Tupac poster, and it made me think of you. I just busted out laughing, and I said, I should get that right there and send it ghetto, but I think that I seen you actually had that poster. But it did, it made me think of you. But I want to do series, videos as well. Maybe diving into some history, and whatnot. See if maybe, that'll help me get my views and subscribers up. Pick a couple of topics and just run with it. I'm also going to, excuse me, I'm also going to look into getting it set up where I can video when I do my prepping, and maybe share with, my viewers stuff on that too. But, and any ideas that y'all want to see or anything else, just let me know. If you don't want to leave it in the comments, you can always email me. Tupac was a good guy. He was he was a very, very real person. I have a lot of respect for that man. You know, as far as entertainers go, he was, one of the better ones. In which now I'm stuck on he is JH. Now I'm stuck on like Brantley Gilbert and New Breed and Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald and New Breed has a lot of patriotic songs. So does Brantley Gilbert. I wish that YouTube would allow us to, like do videos where we just sit around and listen to music and whatnot. But unfortunately, we do that, or we show clips from movies and stuff like that. It automatically gets taken down. I even thought about maybe, showing some of my writing, but I don't know yet. I'm kind of a little insecure about my writing. However, I hadn't thought about that ghetto. That's actually a good idea. I might reach out to like Lake Ferry and even Niecy maybe, and Virginia and Lucky Dame. Get us all up on a panel. Oh Lord, we'd drive you men and crazy. I've also thought like doing a religion uh prepper, collaboration from like a religion point of view, because some Christians doesn't believe in prepping. I'll definitely be sure to do that. Definitely. That's a really, really good idea. I like that, ghetto. Just like your live last night, that was different and very creative. I like that. I was sorry I had to step out, but my daughter was having an emergency. I've noticed that. I've noticed, a lot of men do come to the women and ask them. I'm not saying women's more creative than men, because I know a lot of men that's very creative. But, I think it's cool, that men do seek out women for advice. But you know, I love to watch so many different channels, you know, because a lot of them are so creative, you know. But another thing, I ain't got no info on it, but I've not. Last night I was watching James Kaufman. JH, they will do that. But I was watching James Kaufman last night, and you know he does a lot of space videos and videos on the sun, you know, and whatnot. And y'all have heard me say it before, you know, the government's hiding something. We all know that. And yesterday, I can't remember what time it was, but we had two very big solar flares, you know, shooting straight at the earth. And at least one of them was an M class. And the second one, when it went off, um, the satellite cut out some of it. And we all know what a CME can do, you know, if it's strong enough. You know, it'll be like a EMP going off. But one thing's sure, if a CME hit, we wouldn't have to worry about no EMPs unless, you know, they're protected from a CME. Personally, I don't want to see either one go off. What's y'all's thoughts on Russia? Y'all think they'll invade Ukraine? JH, we have all dogs in my house. I believe it is too ghetto to a certain extent. I think it's a distraction for the most part. Because, you know, the Bible states you'll hear of wars and rumors of wars. Iran and Israel looks like it could pop off at any day, too. And that's really and truly the one we need to watch. Anything involving Israel. I agree. I agree. Because, you know, you've got all these celebrities digging for bunkers in their backyards and preparing, and the underground cities, they're shipping food and everything else too. Which I'd save the article. I go live at 5:30. I don't know why they determined to call me. Oh, that's sweet, J8. We have four easy scrappy zoos. We have four dogs. The oldest is Scrappy Doo, which is he's 17, fits to be 18 years old. Then we have the 16-year-old female, which is named Isabella. We call her Easy. Then we have a 2-year-old German Shepherd. He turns 2 this week. His name is Thor. Then we have my little puppy, which just turned a year old, and his name's Zeus. I'll have to post a picture of my Zeus. He's my little baby. And he's full-blooded Chihuahua. The German Shepherd's full-blooded, and then the other two is 3/4 Chihuahua and a quarter Pekingese. Oh, and actually, believe it or not, Scrappy and Izzy's daddy was named Scooby Doo, even though he was Chihuahua. I don't know. I mean, I've had cats, in my past. My parents have probably about 10 outside cats and one indoor cat. We do. We do. We have almost as many dogs as we do people. It sounds like supper might be here. That was my favorite cartoon as a kid. The old Scooby Doo, not this that they call Scooby Doo nowadays. Oh, ghetto. That's like people call, our little ones ankle biters. I just laugh at them. But all right, guys, I'm gonna call it. We're actually a little over 40 minutes. Oh, but I don't know who I was going live tonight. I do want to throw at least one extra live into the mix during the week. But if I decide, what day to do that, I'll let y'all know. It usually depends on how my week goes up. So maybe on Saturday we'll do a live. But JH and Ghetto, y'all have a good night if I don't see y'all out there on any lives later. Bye, y'all. Peace out.